The Mongolian invasion of Japan was certainly something the Mongols wouldn't be proud of. It was a series of 2 invasions targeting northern Kyushu of Japan. It had taken around 63,000 men, ruled by Kublai Khan at the time, overall only successfully conquering 2 islands. Japan were declared as the winners of the 2 invasions. As Kublai had addressed the Emperor of Japan as a ruler of a small country, it could be seen that he was very proud and saw Japan as a small threat. The letter he had sent to Japan's emperor was very demanding, as he said to the Japanese sovereign to pay tribute to him at once and accept him as the emperor of Japan, or else. This was the letter that he had sent. As the Japanese refused his requests, he had to take action. As early as 1272, Kublai had spoken about wanting to launch a strike against Japan, although his counselors had advised him to await until the full armada of warships could be built. Kublai's immense and threatening army was ready. With 23,000 soldiers, they were sure for a certain win. Right here on all these pictures you can see the Mongolian army in action. Here we see the archers on the horses. Here we see the Mongolian soldiers going on the other boats battling Japan. And here we can see the Japanese samurais in action, not against the Mongols, but that's how they look like. The Mongolian army consisted of skilled archers on horses. The basic costume of a Mongol fighting man consisted of a heavy coat fastened at the waist by a leather belt. The Mongols also wore protective silk undershirts. The silk from the undershirt reduced damage and made removal of an arrow easier. The primary weapon of the Mongols were their composite bows made from laminated horn, wood, and sinew. The Mongols could shoot this arrow over 200 meters. Here were the 3 main battle tactics that led the Mongols to victory in most battles. They had coordinated tactics that included ambush, hit and run, and wave attacks. Spy networks. They spent months before a battle scouting defenses, mapping roads, and planning escape routes. No wonder the Mongols were so successful. The Mongols finally had left from Masam Bay with their terrifyingly massive first fleet of soldiers going along the Korean Strait towards Tsushima, finally arriving on November 4, subduing the Japanese opposition after 9 days of fighting. The next island the fleet was off to was Iki Island, successfully conquering as well. Even a battle report stating the Mongolian army were more superior in every way, but as the day wore on, the weather began to change. As the storm broke, the fleet was hit by its full fury, wiping out the whole fleet. This strike from Mother Nature, ever since being titled by the Japanese as a divine wind or kamikaze. Here we can see is a Japanese good luck symbol. Here is Masam Bay, and these are the terrifyingly massive waves the Mongols were hit by. On May 15, 1281, the Mongols came back stronger for a second invasion. This time, the army consisting of 40,000 men. The 2 fleets were planning to descend from North and South China to meet at the island of Iki, then setting towards Hakata Bay. Learning from the mistakes in the previous battles, the Japanese were better prepared for this one. The Japanese were expecting the arrival of the Mongols, therefore training their samurais to be ready at any time, also building walls and towers surrounding the crucial parts of Hakata Bay that vitally needed to be protected, as they never would know exactly when the Mongols were coming. This time, Japan were on the upper hand, as the well-trained troops of Japan had been wiping out most of the numbers of the Mongol troops. This had left a small amount of the Mongol troops waiting for the second fleet of the soldiers. But yet again the unexpected had happened. Another typhoon had arrived. This typhoon had yet again wiped out the whole Mongolian fleet, leaving the remainder of troops without a chance of retreat. Japan were finally at peace. They had finally defeated the Mongols. This was the second time over the two invasions that the bad weather had caused triumph for the Japanese. The Japanese today still believe it was a gift from the gods, as praying and devotion was played out widely pre-battle and during battle. Right here we can see another illustration of a typhoon devastating the Mongols, as I think right here the Japanese and the Mongols just falling into the water. In the end, what hit the Mongols was a great deal of bad luck. They had the colossal army, the ships, the better tactics. It is true that the luck was not the only factor of the loss. The second attack in 1281 was a challenge, caused from the change of tactics and preparation in the Japanese force. Although you never know, if those typhoons haven't hit, there might not have been a Japan we know and love today.